So we're looking at our vocabulary for achievement, week 29. So our list for this week has to do with words that are good or bad. I also like to say words that are positive, positive for good, or negative. Positive or negative. Are you good at picking up hints? Some words hint at good or bad meanings. Such words are said to have connotations. Say that word, connotations. Connotations. All of the words below have good, positive, or bad, negative connotations. As you study these words, think about the shades of meaning that were introduced to you in, it wasn't actually 21, it was before. And I actually don't know how much we've done with that. So I will help you out with that now. So, let's look through our words. Can I see them all? Yes. Okay, say them with me, please. Observant, observant. Prying, prying. Youthful, youthful. Immature, immature. Fearless, fearless. Reckless, reckless. Determined, determined. Stubborn, stubborn. So those are the words. What do they mean? Please read with me. Observant. An observant person carefully notices things. And it is an adjective. An observant person carefully notices things. They pay attention. Cheryl was so observant that she saw every tiny change in the ant farm. Prying, prying. A prying person snoops into things that should be private. A prying person snoops into things that should be private. Does that sound positive or negative to you? Prying. That's right. Somebody who's snooping it's not positive. That's negative. We also say nosy. The famous singer protects her family from prying reporters. The famous singer protects her family from prying reporters. Youthful, youthful. A youthful person is young and energetic. My youthful grandmother often goes inline skating with me. Youthful. Young, youthful. Immature, immature. An immature person is childish and self-centered. Self-centered. They're just focused about themselves. And that's a sign of immaturity. Let me raise this up. My immature 10-year-old brother kicked the furniture in anger when he was not allowed to watch a movie. Okay, so kicking furniture or walls, that's not mature. Immature. Fearless, fearless. A fearless person is brave, so they are without fear. Fearless. They are brave. A fearless person is brave and does not feel fear. That's an adjective. George Washington was a fearless soldier who often led his men into battle. And George Washington was the first president of the United States of America. Oops. Okay, reckless. Reckless. A reckless person is careless and takes stupid or silly risks. So they're not careful, they're careless. And they're not smart, they're stupid or silly. Two reckless drivers raced on a crowded highway. Okay, so racing on a highway is not careful and it's not smart. So that's reckless. And is that positive or negative sounding? Reckless. Calling someone stupid, that's definitely negative, right? Okay. Determined. Determined. Someone who is determined is serious and dedicated to achieving a goal. Determined. Someone who is determined is serious and dedicated to achieving a goal. Mariah was determined to get an A on her science project. Determined. She was serious and focused. Sounds positive or negative? That's right. That sounds very positive. Stubborn. Stubborn. A stubborn person is not willing to give in, and they're not willing to change. When I think of stubborn, I think, I don't want to, you can't make me. I don't want to, you can't make me. That's stubborn. Jim isn't a good team member because he is so stubborn that he always wants to do things his way. Stubborn. Draw a line between each vocabulary word and its definition. Okay, and this, of course, will be on your practice work. So let's look again at the words. Observant, prying, youthful, immature, fearless, reckless, determined, and stubborn. So this is week 29 vocabulary, and this is the article to help us practice those vocabulary words. Please read with me. Dr. Sally Ride, tennis player, astronaut, professor, someone who teaches college, professor. Dr. Sally Ride was the first American woman astronaut, but that was just one of her 3 career possibilities. One of her youthful interests was tennis. She played so well that tennis star Billie Jean King told her to become a professional. Instead, she decided to study physics at Stanford University. Sally was an excellent student and was on her way to becoming a professor until she learned that NASA, N-A-S-A, NASA, was looking for astronauts. NASA wanted intelligent astronauts who could also handle physical tasks. Another requirement was good judgment and the ability to follow orders. Immature or stubborn people can be dangerous on a space mission. NASA screened carefully, even asking questions that might be considered prying, but that were important in a life and death situation. In the end, Sally Ride was one of 35 people chosen out of more than 8,000 applicants. Determined to excel, Ride trained in parachute jumping, water survival, and weightlessness. Say that word, weightlessness. She was a fearless flyer who enjoyed being a pilot so much. She was a fearless flyer who enjoyed being a pilot so much that it soon became her hobby. Ride became a radio communications specialist for the space mission. She had to be observant in monitoring her equipment so that nothing could go wrong, for communication with Earth was critical to space missions. But Sally did other things too. She even helped design a remote mechanical arm. Wow. Sally Ride went into space twice and was preparing to go again when the Challenger spacecraft exploded. Shocked, the public demanded an explanation to see if any reckless act had caused the accident. Ride was appointed by the president to help investigate the disaster. Later, she worked in NASA's Office of Exploration. Dr. Ride has now retired from NASA and is a professor at Stanford University. One of her goals is to help young girls become interested in science and mathematics. Hello, we're looking at vocabulary, week 31. And the vocabulary this week is not a set of words. It's a set of phrases called proverbs. Say proverbs. Has anyone ever said to you, "Birds of a feather flock together"? What a funny thing to say. In this case, the person means people who are alike enjoy being together. A proverb is a way of telling you a common truth. Which of these proverbs have you heard? So here are the proverbs. Birds of a feather flock together. Say it with me. Birds of a feather flock together. Don't judge a book by its cover. Great oaks from little acorns grow. Say it with me. Great oaks from little acorns grow. Look before you leap. Say it with me. Look before you leap. Never leave till tomorrow what you can do today. Say it with me. Never leave till tomorrow that which you can do today. Small strokes fell great oaks. Small strokes fell great oaks. A stitch in time saves 9. A stitch in time saves 9. Okay, so what do they mean? Let's read through them, please. Number 1, what is a proverb? A proverb is a short, common, wise saying that gives advice or states a rule about life. Birds of a feather flock together means that people with similar personalities or interests tend to spend time together. Don't judge a book by its cover means don't judge people or things by their appearances. Great oaks from little acorns grow means that large or great things often start out small. Okay, so an acorn. Actually, an acorn looks a little more like that. So you know an acorn comes from a big tree, right? And the acorn falls down to the ground. Then it starts off to make a new tree. Okay? So the saying is, great oaks from little acorns grow. So from a little acorn, a great giant oak tree grows. But we're not just talking about acorns. We mean little things in life can become big. Look before you leap. Look before you leap means you should consider carefully what might happen before you do something. So what it's saying is, okay, here you are, and you are ready to jump. You might want to look first and see how far down it is before you decide to jump here. You should look first so you can say, should I jump or should I not jump? Look before you leap. Never leave till tomorrow that which you can do today. Okay, so if you know you have to do these things on your list, and you know you can do this one today, you should get it done. Maybe this one has to wait for tomorrow, and this one you can do today, you should get it done. Why? So that you're not always thinking, oh, I've got to get all these things done. And you become very stressed out. Never leave till tomorrow that which you can do today. Means do things as soon as you can. That way you're not stressing your mind out, trying to remember everything you need to do. Small strokes fell great oaks. I wish I hadn't erased my oak tree. Let me draw another one. Yeah, I think I can handle that. So small strokes. What's that? Well, it's supposed to be an axe. Okay, so even though it's a giant tree, small strokes. Cutting, 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 small, 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 and eventually, timber. The tree will fall down. Small strokes fell great oaks. Here fell means made to fall down. And the last one, a stitch in time saves 9. I think that's one of my favorite proverbs. Goodbye, oak tree. A stitch in time saves 9. That means if you repair things as soon as possible, you can avoid having to fix a bigger problem later. So the example is used for clothing, right? Okay, let's say this is a shirt. I know. Oops. It's a beautiful shirt. And you have a little tear right there in your shirt. So if you get your needle, that's supposed to be a needle, and you get your thread, and you sew up the hole now, then it should last. But if you don't sew up that hole, what's going to happen? Every time you move around, that hole's going to get bigger and bigger. And you're going to end up with a shirt that looks like that, and you're going to have to throw it away. So you can stitch now, and it won't take much effort, or you can wait, and it's going to take a lot more effort. A stitch in time saves 9. Okay, those are your 4 idioms. So never leave till tomorrow that which you can do today. Which one of these explains that proverb? Birds of a feather flock together. Which one explains that proverb? Great oaks from little acorns grow. Which one explains that proverb? Look before you leap. Which one explains that proverb? All right, happy studying. Words of wisdom. Please read along with me. Often, a proverb does not say directly what it means, but uses an example as a symbol. The proverb, "Small strokes fell great oaks," creates a mental picture of someone chopping down a huge oak tree. Benjamin Franklin, the American who first published this proverb, wasn't talking about trees. Instead, he was saying that a big task is best completed by breaking it down into little parts. In Poor Richard's Almanac, Franklin also wrote, "A stitch in time saves 9." Picture a shirt with a tear in the sleeve. If you fix the hole right away, it might only take 1 or 2 stitches, right? Stitching, sewing it up. But if you wait, the hole may get bigger, and you will need to use many more stitches. Some proverbs use observations about nature to make a point. Say that with me. Some proverbs use observations about nature to make a point. Birds of a feather, or birds of the same kind, such as crows or cardinals, do tend to stay together. Birds of a feather flock together. Birds of a feather flock together can refer to groups of people who are alike in some way. You'll notice that people who speak the same language tend to stay together, people with the same religion, people with the same taste in music. Birds of a feather flock together. Great oaks from little acorns grow is another observation that expresses a truth about life. Small things can grow into large, important things. Proverbs may offer practical advice, such as, "Don't judge a book by its cover." A book with an exciting cover can turn out to be dull and boring. Likewise, a person who appears happy may really be sad inside. Look before you leap is a bit of practical advice that can be applied to many situations. Just as you wouldn't leap over a fence without checking what's on the other side, you shouldn't take an action without considering what may result. In Franklin's proverb, "Never leave till tomorrow that which you can do today," Franklin used today to mean as soon as possible. His advice to you would be to do your homework as soon as you get it. Oh, let's read that sentence again. His advice to you would be to do your homework as soon as you get it.